Folks, we got big news. Seems like a bunch of Bitcoin whales just went short right before Trump's supposed announcement speech today, which was a nothing burger. But they might have not gone short for that. So, gotta watch for some things. Because, like last time a big whale went short, that was right before Trump's tariff announcement, and we went down big. So, we might be fixing to actually go down. Now, it's not for sure that these whales have any information that would actually make them go short. Maybe they got the wrong information and they thought that Trump was going to announce something that make the market go down, but he didn't. Or like it was just a big nothing burger and maybe they messed up. But it is something that we need to pay attention to, that they actually went short. So Bitcoin whales add 40x leverage BTC shorts ahead of Trump's announcement. Now, the announcement did actually happen this afternoon, and it was a big nothing burger. But could there be something else in the works? That's what we got to be thinking. I wouldn't make any moves because of this, but I would keep your eyes peeled for any announcements that come through. So Bitcoin fielded fresh leverage shorts on Thursday as whales appeared to bet on downside volatility around another announcement from U.S. President Donald Trump. Bitcoin whales flipped bearish on BTC price action hours before Trump makes another White House announcement. That was at like 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, but that is now passed and it was a nothing burger, so nothing to panic about there. Insider market bets have featured prominently since August 10th, when Bitcoin hit 102, and there was a giant whale that essentially took a short right before that. Traders say that 107 is now the next line in the sand. Now, I don't really pay attention to the do any of those line in the sand type of things. So data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed BTC price action tapping but failing to hold 110,000, acting in an increasingly narrow range. Bitcoin USD offered little cause for optimism ahead of some classic volatility triggers. U.S. President Donald Trump was scheduled to make an announcement from the White House at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and large volume Bitcoin traders were betting on bad news. So maybe they only thought that Trump was going to deliver bad news, but he didn't. And of course, Bitcoin OG Kyle Chass described one whale's 40x leverage BTC short as insane. Now, most shorts would be insane if they didn't know anything, especially a 40x short, because that could get liquidated at any time. So you can look at this. This whale deposited 3 million USDC into Hyperliquid recently, shorting BTC with 40x leverage. That means he took $120 million in short. Trump is also making an announcement from the White House today. Coincidence? Now, I would say this was kind of coincidence. Like, everyone knew that Trump was going to make an announcement today, and he must have thought that announcement was bad, but the announcement did not turn out to be bad. So he got screwed because we went to 110. So, as Cointelegraph reported, suspicions have accompanied whale plays throughout October after certain entities appeared to front-run news headlines and comments from Trump. The phenomenon originally surfaced on October 10th, when BTC USD fell from all-time highs to a low of 102 on Binance. Concentrating on overall trader behavior, on-chain analytics platform Glassnode revealed defensive positioning. Net premium flows revealed concentrated selling across 109K to 115K range, indicating that recent moves higher are being used to hedge. This suggests traders are positioning defensively into strength while market consolidates. So, basically, this prediction went wrong. But like I said, they could have taken short for something else besides just this announcement, because the market did not move in this announcement. So we could actually go down further after this week to actually fulfill whatever their shorts were to make them money. So I would be very careful of that, and I would be kind of suspicious of that as that actually comes along, because we don't really know if there's going to be something else big that's coming. If we drop to 100 or lower, then you will know. They knew that something else was coming. If we don't, they just made a wrong guess, and a bunch of whales got took 10, 20, 30, 40x for absolutely nothing. And that is possible, despite what some people may think. Whales don't always know what's going on. Some of them are just guessing as well, but they do possess the money to actually move markets. And if a lot of them align, a lot of them do the same thing at the same time, and then they sell some of their coins at the same time, well, that could definitely affect markets in a negative way. But Just wanted to let everyone know that a bunch of whales did take a huge short before Trump's announcement today, which turned out to be a nothing burger. But that could be a prelude to something that could be a something burger in the short future. So please watch out for that and keep your eyes peeled. Don't sell or do anything right now, but keep your eyes peeled for any news that might actually come out. And of course, we got to talk about Trump pardoning up CZ. So Trump told CZ that what he did wasn't even a crime. Now, what do I think of that? Do I actually think that what CZ did was a crime? Probably. Do I think a lot of crypto people are shady? Probably. And do I think you can prosecute a lot of them for crime? Probably as well. Do I think it was fair that he went after CZ and not some of the smaller guys? Yes, because the thing is, like, the FBI or police always go after the big guys. They don't go after the small guys. Like, if you want to bring down the mafia, you go after the kingpin. You don't go after the minions, because the minions don't mean jack crap unless you can get one of them to squeal. But going after the kingpin sends a big message. So I'm not surprised that the FBI or the DOJ went after CZ. If I was the FBI/DOJ, I would go after CZ too. But CZ is not the only one that's guilty of any of this stuff. And yes, I do think he was money laundering and tax evading, and he was like basically going around U.S. sanctions to service people in Russia. Do I think that's morally wrong or right? I don't really have too much of an opinion on that, but I do believe that he was breaking the law, but Trump obviously pardoned him. The reason Trump pardoned him, I think the rumors are true that CZ is helping Trump and his family basically start a perp dex system. And obviously that's going to benefit Trump and make Trump a lot of money. So CZ gets a free pass there. Also, it's not a huge deal for CZ. I think that just basically makes him able to like run Binance again without any trouble. Because he was already out of prison. He only spent 4 months in prison. And I think he's essentially been running Binance behind the scenes anyways. And if he hasn't, his wife has. And they're kind of like one entity. So it doesn't really matter all that much. But he is officially pardoned now. And people see BNB as only going up. And I agree. Why wouldn't BNB only go up? Because BNB has already been doing extremely well this bull run. Last bull run, it topped at $650 or something. And this time, it already topped at $1,390 something, which means it's actually outperformed Bitcoin like cycle over cycle. And obviously, it outperformed Bitcoin the last cycle as well because, the last cycle before that was like $5, went to $600, then went to $13.90. And I definitely think it's going to recapture that top and even go up from there because I can't really see things going wrong for Binance. It's still the biggest exchange in the world. And I think with Donald Trump's endorsement, it's going to go even higher. I think like today, it did actually go up about 4%, probably because of the pardon. But it didn't go up that much. But I think the pardon essentially sets the way for it to go up much higher in the future. So I expect BNB to go well over $2,000. Basically, like CZ was like, crypto traders are expecting a significant rally for BNB in the coming weeks after U.S. President Donald Trump pardoned Binance founder CZ. Zhao pleaded guilty in November 2023 to one account of failing to implement an adequate AML program at Binance, violating the Bank Secrecy Act. The price of BNB surged 3.6% intraday trading. The Wall Street Journal reported Trump pardoned Zhao following months of lobbying and appeals from the company and Zhao. So CZ did actually ask for this. Obviously, he's going to help Trump launch their own perp index. And Trump obviously wants to do him a favor. So he pardoned CZ. Should he have been pardoned? Probably not. Should they have gone after him? Yeah, probably. Like I said, he's not the only one that's guilty of KYC AML charges, obviously. There's a lot of people that are like bad players in that, and he's probably one of them doing shady things. But, he is the biggest guy in crypto, and if you're going after like a criminal pyramid, you go after the kingpin, which is why they went after CZ. But now that he's pardoned, everything's good now. Obviously, like Binance is not getting the money back that they took from Binance. But Trump basically said what he did was not a crime because essentially I think Trump's trying to do some of the same things. So obviously he's not going to consider it a crime. And of course, BNB is going to be has been listed on Coinbase and Robinhood earlier this week, which gives it even more liquidity. Obviously, that didn't pump BNB as it did some of the other coins because BNB is a much bigger coin. It already has liquidity on Binance, so a listing on Coinbase is really not going to pump it all that much. But this is very, very bullish for both BNB and BSC. If you don't have those cryptos, you might want to think about buying one of those cryptos, if not both of those cryptos. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.